Welcome to the Bizarre and the Unknown. I am your host, E.D. Testerman. I am an author and investigator. I am also a researcher into the unknown. Join me as we dive together into this bizarre and the unknown universe. Do you believe in UFOs and aliens, things that fly in the sky and in our oceans? Do you hear things that go thump at night, or do you see things that you cannot explain? Do you believe in Shiai Tonka, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Booger, and so many more? Join me on my adventures as I investigate this stuff that's out there. Let's learn how to guard ourselves and protect the things out there that need our protection. Hey, oh man, my computer's glitching, everybody. Sorry. I'm downloading a huge file that had released tonight on the Pythian Castle Paranormal Investigation. Hey, Corey. Hey, Kevin. So my computer's like lagging bad right now. Sorry once again for a late show. You know, single dad life. Had to drop the daughter off at work. I've still got groceries in the truck I got to carry in when we get done, too. I said, booger. Yeah, I did, buddy. But no, I hope you guys liked it. I had to change my intro up because I guess I'm being monetized now. So the original intro that I had, they said once I get monetized, I won't be able to use it. So I changed it today. I still got to go in and make a new outgoing deal. So I'll work on that in a little bit. I'm almost done uploading, but I had to stop it because it was lagging my computer down a lot. So hey Tim, so I canceled the download on it. I'll have to pick it back up after the show. So if everything, hey Demiria, so if everything works out right, part 1 of the Pythian Castle investigation should be being released at midnight tonight. So keep an eye on that. If everything goes good, we'll get that done. We're going to talk a little bit today about the wild hunt. Being just getting on in the winter season, the wild hunt was well known for being seen in the wintertime. Now, there's a couple versions of the wild hunt. There's the Norse version, which is Odin leads it. And then there's the Anglo-Saxon version, which is they're both of them are very similar. One of the biggest difference between the Norse and the Anglo-Saxon is in the Norse, they have black demon-like dogs, also called a black shuck, that run with them, where in the Anglo-Saxons, the black shuck is something completely different. And that's like probably the biggest difference between the two. So we'll kind of talk about that. I do have a Anglo-Saxon Chronicle I'll read, and I think it came circulated around 1127 is when it did. Hey, Jeff. So it goes, let no one be surprised at what we're about to relate, for it was common gossip up and down the countryside that after February 6th, many people both saw and heard a whole pack of huntsmen in full cry. They straddled black horses and black bucks while their hands were pitched black with staring hideous their hounds were pitch black with staring hideous eyes. This was seen in the very deer park of Peterborough town, and in all the woods stretching from that same spot as far as Stanford. All through the night, monks heard them sounding and winding their horns. Reliable witnesses who've kept watch in the night declared that there might well have been 20 or 30 of them in this wild tentative and as near as they could tell. And that was an Anglo-Saxon chronicle by a monk talking about the wild hunt. I know what getting torn up by dogs feel like. Not fun. Yeah, Tim. Yeah, no, it ain't. I've had my fair share of bites too. No, we're good. We're good. That's something I don't want to experience. But you can see where this really plays into even the Anglo-Saxon side of it. So those of you familiar with the TV show The Witcher, the wild hunt on The Witcher is more of the Anglo-Saxon version than it is the Norse version. Now, both of them will tell you the same thing. You'll hear them wailing and screaming and horns blowing as they come across the sky at night. And if they see you, they'll snatch you up and have you join the hunt with them, and you'll never return. That's very common on both sides of it. Like I said, on the North side, Odin is the one who leads the wild hunt, where I believe the Anglo-Saxon version's a little different. They still Odin, but they called him. It was called Odin's Army. That's Germanic. I can't remember what they call him in Anglo-Saxon now. My head is all over the place. So in the Norse version, Odin's riding Sleipnir, where in the Anglo-Saxon version, he's riding just a black horse. So you'll see that there's similarities and differences between the two, which is they're always saying it's wintertime is when the wild hunt comes through. That is common in a lot of stuff that you see. You can find some really good, interesting photos online of the wild hunt depicted from the Middle Ages. They say if you, yeah, no kidding, Roxanne. I haven't even got the groceries inside. I literally parked the truck and hopped in here real quick. If you see them coming, you need to hide, because if you don't hide, that's when they'll come and get you. So Zeus would be Greek. Tim. In Anglo-Saxon, see, a lot of people don't know. You have your Anglos and you have your Saxons, which the Anglo are more of the Germanic side of the Saxon side. When they combined together after the Great Heathen Army is what they called it, the Norse army that came over to England was taking over it. They ended up joining forces when the United Kingdom and became Anglo-Saxon. Now, Saxons is also, if I remember correctly, I believe they are still a part of a Germanic tribe, but they're completely different. Their language was a little different. How they ran things was a little different, but there were still a lot of similarities too. And they separated themselves well known. Oh, hey, I'm Anglo or I'm Saxon. And like I said, it wasn't until the Great Heathen Army that they combined together and became. Sorry, I got to turn this fan on, man. I'm sweating like a stuck pig right now. They became the Anglo-Saxons of England. So, and then after a while, the Norse took over a good chunk of England, and then you had Danelaw area and you had English area. So it was an interesting time back then. No worries, Tim. I know how it is. I'm hotter than I'll well digger in July, man. I am sweating like a stuck pig. So I was like, I got to turn this heat. My brain's fried. I've been running nonstop. I got done with helping William out this morning. Worked on that release, trying to get that release ready. Then I had to run to town, go grocery shopping, racing around doing grocery shopping and doing a couple other stops, then drop my daughter off and race back home. And I missed the game today. I didn't even get a chance to watch the game. I've just been busy, just boom, 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 boom. So it's been fun. Some of the stuff they talk about in here, in some of these notes you'll find is this spectral nocturnal horde was the wild hunt, which was recorded in folklore all throughout ancient, medieval, and even early and modern Europe, but was especially concentrated in the Germanic lands of Northern Europe. In Scandinavia, it was called Oskara, terrifying ride, or Odinska, Odin's hunt. In Middle High Germany, it was called Wotan's, Odin's army. And in modern Germanic, Wotanade here, furious, inspired by the army, or wild jagged, also known as wild hunt. He did. He did. I mean, he's still struggling. He's got some weakness, but hey, DA. So this is where you see a lot of this wild hunt. Now, um, we know the stories of the black shuck. If you hear the English folklore, the black shuck was a black dog that had set fire where it walked, and there's claws on a church door in England still to this day. For hey Da, how's it going, buddy? From where this black shuck scratched this door and burnt this door. So on the Anglo-Saxon side of it, the black shuck is totally something different. But if you look on the north side, it talks about how these black hounds follow the wild hunt, and they are called the black shuck. So this is where you see the two. Where, I mean, like I said earlier, there's similarities, there's differences, but there's similarities. And the fact that the Anglo-Saxons were a type of Germanic tribe, along with the Norse and the Scandinavians and the Danes and so forth and so on. Hey, Mary. You'll see a lot of similarities in their stuff. Just like when they tell you on Norse mythology, reason why there's Aesir and Volnir, because one side of them believed in the Aesir, the other side believed in the Volnir. So when they combined together and became who they are, that's why you have two sets of gods, Aesir, Volnir. Yeah, Woden. Yeah, Woden. So this is why you see the two similarities. And a lot of people don't realize when it comes to the Anglos, they were very Germanic too, and their beliefs were very similar than the rest of them as well. So you'll see a lot of like their traditions, their mythology, their beliefs. Everything is going to be very similar. That's why the two. That's why the Norse could communicate with the Anglos a lot better than they could with the Saxons. Saxons still, in some way, was a part of a Germanic tribe as well, but their language had changed so much through the years that it was harder for the Norse to understand them than it was for them to understand them, the Anglos. So when they combined together and became the Anglo-Saxons, this is where you see emergence of the two traditions and myths come together to what we know of what English people are today. But when all that stuff merged is when all the traditions and the mythology came together. And this is why all these are very similar. Like here in the leader of the wild hunt, it says here, when accounts of the wild hunt is mentioned, a leader. The figure who filled this role varied greatly. In Germany, the leader could have been Perchta, Berha, Berta, Holt, Hold, Holda, Foste, Stelga, Silda, Himmi, Herla, Berkolta, and Berholta. So you see these differences on these side here. And a lot of it is what you take India, for instance. India has hundreds of gods, thousands of gods, something like that. They got a lot of gods. Well, on one side of the Germanic tribe, like I was saying earlier, they believed in the Volnir. Volnir had different gods, for these different names. So this is where could all these names come together. But when you break it down, they all generate back to the one person, and that's Odin. Every single one of them. Even when you break it down to the core basis of the myth, majority of the people believe that Odin was the leader of the wild hunt. Hey, Freaky. When accounts of the however, as the wild hunt varies names across the Germanic lands attest, one figure will especially closely associate with Odin, the god of the dead, inspiration, ecstatic trance, battle frenzy, knowledge, the ruling class, and creative and intelligent pursuits in general. So you see where I was talking about on that there, how it all breaks down into this Odin character. And they're always associated with midwinter, like I said. So that's why I thought it'd be good. We're in fall right now, getting ready to come into winter time. And this is one of those mythologies that could it be real? Every mythology has a kernel of truth to it. I believe this wailing that they talk about could be very well the winter wind. Anybody's been in a place that's got some actually winter, and that wind gets to howling through them trees and gets to howling through that other stuff. It sounds very ghostly, and back then, if you didn't have enough food, well, you was hungry, and hunger can lead into visions. Think about it. When you go on a vision quest, you starve, you thirst. Same concept. So Could this be where the basis of this mythology come from? That is absolutely a possibility on this. At the same time, when you've got so many cultures reporting about the exact same thing, almost to a T, not quite to a T, but almost to a T, that tells you there has to be something in it. Because this is a mythology that steeps a long time, a very long time. So, what's your guys' thought of? What do you guys know about the wild hunt? I mean, I know DA's got some knowledge on it. That man's got some real good knowledge on the wild hunt. I like what he does with his. I love how he mixes it within his books. Yeah, don't spill the tea. But I'm kind of curious because I don't know who all here has actually done some research on the wild hunt. I had to pull up some notes because I'm just running wild today. I'll get a break eventually, and I still got to go to bed early to get up in the morning and go hit the deer woods. Yeah, see, it swept through the forest in midwinter, the coldest, darkest part of the year, when furious winds and storms howled over the land. Anyone who found him or herself outdoors at night during this time might spot this ghostly procession or be spotted by it, which might involve being carried away and dropped miles from where the unfortunate person had been taken up, or worse. Others, practitioners or various forms of magic, joined in it voluntarily, as an intangible part of them. Flew with the conclave while their bodies lay in their beds as if sleeping normally. Sometimes the members of the hunt entered towns and houses, causing havoc and stealing food and drink. No worries, bro. I can't wait to hear about that tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I'll have a short show tonight because I'm single parent mode today, so definitely will be a short night. Hey, Smurfy, how you doing? Mine would have been from reading DA's books. Yeah, I mean DA's books involving the Wild Hunt series is I like it because it's so close to Norse mythology. It really follows quite a bit of that, as far as the rank structures and stuff as that goes. That's why I love it. So I mean, I think that's probably the reason why I connected to it the way I did, because like, man, I know this stuff. The legend of the Herne and the hunter came from the wild hunt. Yeah, I was reading that part earlier. Yeah, it did. That was some of the Germanics believed in that part of it, and that's where you see a lot of that came in with it. Was because some of them believed that he was one of them that led the wild hunt. That was a part of the wild hunt. For me, I mean, most of my knowledge comes from the North side, and some of it even from the English side. So, I mean, and the two are so similar that I just kind of combined the two together. That's just my family ties. Trying to see if there's anything else major I need to hit on this here. So Odin's hundreds of names further demonstrate his association with midwinter, in the time of the year in which the holiday Yule, both of which mean Yule or falls, or Jalnir or Jahalara, both were which mean like or master of Yule. The myths describe him frequently riding through the 9 worlds on his 8-legged horse Sleipnir, or guest of a shamanic nature. Other themes that connects him to the wild hunt, as H.R. Ellis Davidson put in, speaking of the manifestations of the wild hunt that continued well into the Christian era. It was natural that the ancient god of the dead who rode through the air should keep a peace in this way in the memory of the people. And it reminds us of the terror which his name must once have inspired. Oh, you're going Mad Max tonight? Heck yeah, buddy. Yeah. There's still a lot of I got to do tonight. Okay, so tonight DA is going to be reading part 1 of Ragnarok. Oh, I love that one. I got to get the rest. I've only heard part 1 or book 1 yet. I got to get my hands on the others. Yes, there is a Celtic version of the Wild Hunt led by Kjornos. I'm not. Let me see if I can look that one up real quick. Uh, I wasn't able to get a lot of the notes I wanted done because I was so busy with trying to get this part one of the deal done that I am slacking. Plus, I ain't gonna lie, I've been in the deer woods. The Celtic mythology, the wild hunt associated with Gwyn ap Nudd, a king of Awen. The wild hunt is a group of hunters that are often spirits of the dead, ghostly dogs, fairies, elves, and valkyries. Seeing in the wild hunt was thought to be a sign of an impending disaster, such as war or plague, or the death of the person who witnessed it. Which you can see, there's a lot of similarities between Norse gods and the Celtic. Yeah, there is, and you got to understand too. The Norse took over a lot of Ireland back in them days too. So that can be a really good reason why you see so much North influence, because the Norse have influence all over this world, even here in the United States. People don't realize it. There, sorry guys, there is a ton of Norse influence in even here in the United States, just a ton of it. But it's that way through the world. So is this why the two are similar, or is it because their beliefs were very similar? Both possible. Tim says, DA, are there YouTube videos on that? I know he's got a audio book on it. Some other Celtic deities associated with hunting include Kronos, the horn god of fertility, hunting animals, and wild places. He is often depicted with antlers, seated cross-legged, and holding or wearing a torque. Arwen, the king of Awen, in some Welsh legends associated with hunting, dogs, and stags. Nodens, associated with hunting, the sea, the healing, and dogs. Volgas, the Gaelish god of hunting and forest. Fildes, the Celtic goddess of hunting and nature. So, yeah, that's no joke. It's funny because the stuff we did when I was younger, I am so glad we didn't have phones. Because, man, I'd be in a lot of trouble. I was able to hide a lot of stuff what I did when I was younger. Nowadays, not so much. Let's dive into the Celtic side a little bit more. Let's see if this one's got some good info on it. Because I've not dove a whole lot into the Celtic side. I've dipped my toe in it. The hunting history and myth. The wild hunt is often associated with the Celtic phenomenon and their collective realm, Tir na Og, or Og, sorry. And the stories of the plane walkers, it is a force of good that the Celtic gods used to chase evil beings from their lands. It is said that to be a great pack of wolf-like hunting hounds, led by a great huntsman with the antlered helmet. But there are other tales of the wild hunt from other cultures in some primes. The hunt is known as a force of evil, the huntsmen being death gods who's lost their warship but did not die, joining the hunt to take out their anger on the world. In such places, the hunt is said to be led by a great monster of a man with antlers growing from his head, and hounds of the hunt as great beast with eyes of fire, whipped on by the huntsman. Yeah. Yeah. I look back nowadays, I'm like, yeah, I'm very thankful I grew up in the generation I did. Lots are banned, yeah. Um, it is. There's so much stuff on there. So you see, this is kind of really close to what. Right here, yeah, this even got it. So So which is the hunt, a force of good of evil, is exclusively a Celtic phenomenon, and have enemies of Celtic cultures created stories of the evil hunt as propaganda? Or have the Celtic gods, especially Cernos, allied themselves? I kept saying Kronos earlier because I got freaking Greek mythology in my head. Allied themselves with the force of evil to better hunt the other evil. The true answer is none of the. Okay, yeah, I'm not worried about their beliefs. I was just kind of wanting some of the mythology behind it. So you can see even on the Celtic side, they're very similar. I'll admit I'm one of those. I spent enough time in the woods during all the seasons we have. Even I've heard them ghostly howls at night, and I've been like, what the hell? And what it took me a long time to realize that, okay, it was the wind. But growing up on stuff that you grew up on, when you hear that thing, it's the first instinct is, oh, shit, I gotta hide, man. These dudes are coming for me. And I mean, I'll admit, I've seen some weird things in the night sky in the wintertime. Could that be the cold causing illusions? Possibly. I grew up poor. Sometimes we only got one meal a day. Could have been hunger causing illusions. Possibly. Same time, I very well could have seen something. We've seen enough strange stuff in my lifetime to know that things exist that they don't like to tell you exist. So, I mean, it's all possible. Hey, Dead Wolf, how's it going? So, this is I find this stuff interesting, not just because my Norse background, because I love mythology. Mythology, like I've said before, has a kernel of truth in it. So I would love to pick this kernel of truth out and see how this was birthed into what it was birthed into. Long time they told you Hercules was a myth. Well, they found Hercules' graves. We always said the whole time there's a kernel of truth behind Hercules. There's got to be some kind of truth there. The same with King Arthur and Excalibur, where they're starting to find out that was more on the Roman side than it was the Saxon side. All of it. I mean, all of it could be there. Or I'm sorry, the Anglo side. Everything has a kernel of truth to it. They believe now they actually found Camelot. They found a place in England. I believe it was England. I'm pretty sure it was England. I got to research that again. That fits the stories behind Camelot to a T. So I mean, there's another mythology that's showing truth to it. I know that feeling. I hated being poor enough to make sure my kids never experienced it. Yep, it sucks watching other people eat when you're in school. Yeah, I mean, there was a good month and a half there for a long time. I ate popcorn, and my kids ate real good food because I just didn't have the money. I mean, that 99 cents back then bought me a bag of popcorn. Hell, I could eat for a week on that, And my kids, I mean, they had good food. I ate popcorn. Growing up as a kid, you get a dozen worms, you can catch at least 24 fish with a dozen worms. We ate a lot of fish. Done a lot of fishing. If we couldn't hunt it or gather it or grow it, we didn't eat. So, I mean, we was that way for a long time. Like I said, we didn't have running water here. We didn't even have a bathroom here. We used an outhouse, and we bucketed water from a creek and a river for about a year until we found out we can get water from the Buffalo Water Tower. Us boys loved it because once a week with 5-gallon buckets filling up a 500-gallon kettle water so we can have water wasn't fun. Built the muscles, wasn't fun, especially in the wintertime when you're down at the river breaking ice so you can dip your bucket in the water. That sucks. So, I mean, I know how it is. My kids think they have it hard. I was like, y'all don't know nothing. You guys just don't know nothing. Yeah, right? Yeah, Roxanne. I mean, it's sometimes you make them choices, and back in them days, sadly, I hate to say it. I mean, it's a sad thing, but sadly, it's the truth. Usually the adults ate back in them days, and the kids didn't back in the medieval times. Sad but true. Yeah. Just good parent. Yeah. I just joke and play around to elevate the awkwardness and discomfort of having to watch other kids in school. Yeah, I know that feeling very well. Yeah, man, my brain is failing. That sentence was horrible. No worries, you're fine, buddy. You're fine. Um, but so I can kind of relate with what happened back then. But at the same time, I still had it better when I was struggling growing up than what they did. I mean, think about it. Back in their days, they got raided either by a foreign entity or a local entity. There was many times people would starve to death in the winter or not have enough food to last till the end. And unfortunately, there's times long pork was on the menu. People today would shiver and tremble like a bowl of jello if they experienced a quarter of what we had to. Yeah, that's no joke or so. Good to see you, buddy. Man, they sandwiches, I remember. Yeah. I mean, like I was talking on William's show this morning, I'm not a beans guy. I mean, I like chili. That's about it when it comes to beans. When you're growing up and that's the only thing to eat, you suck it up, Buttercup. Tim says, I did King Arthur's deep dive and Merlin, not what we're told. Templar associated. I never knew that. I knew that he was a picked magician. I didn't know he was a Templar. Hiding from a beast while also being hungry most really sucked. Yeah, Smurfy, no kidding. That's what the wisdom of the Norse saga is taught. Life lessons how to survive. Exactly, DA. You hit the nail on the head, buddy. It really, in all honesty, I mean, we can take this a step further, guys. Any of the ancient people's stories they talked about during these times about these entities, about these myths, all had a lesson of dealt with life. Hercules was the same way. The gods and the struggles the gods went through, all that stuff. Read the Volsap or any of the Eddas. Yes. I mean, if you guys want some good reads, I'm telling you, these Norse Eddas, and the Volsap is good. And I've read it once. I need to read it again. There is a lot of good information in them. Yeah, squirrel. I mean, I've ate squirrel, coon, groundhog, possum, skunk. Whatever we can get her. It was food. It was in the belly. Me and my three brothers and sisters thought it was a treat to have butter with sugar on it. I've heard that a lot from my grandparents. My grandparents talked about that during the Depression. We thought we was eating good when we had a fat coon on the grill, or a mess of squirrels or rabbits or groundhog or something like that. We thought we were hogs in heaven, man. I mean, that was good feasting. And it was a huge treat to even go out and eat. About 2 or 3 times a year, we actually went to a steakhouse to eat on the buffet. That was like Christmas, man. That was like Christmas. I'm making chili right now. Will be cooked on Kimberly wood stove. I love cooking my chili on wood stove. I've got a Dutch oven, a cast iron Dutch oven. And that's my favorite thing about winter is firing up that wood stove and putting my Dutch oven on top and letting that chili cook. Lit with the ferro rod and all the natural kindling. Yeah. It's I cook with cast iron most of the time anyways. And during the winter time, I mainly cook on my wood stove. I don't use my stovetop as much as I do the wood stove. I pop a cast iron pan up there. I fry my eggs in it, my bacon, everything. I cook a lot of stuff on my wood stove in the wintertime. If anyone wants to read the Havamal or the Valsup, message me. I'll send you to be. Oh, dude, send that to me, DA. Definitely. That'll help me from looking it up all the time. I read the Volsup once. That was beautiful. I mean, that is such a good read. I remember my grandma saying things to reuse. Y'all, I reuse stuff all the time. Yeah. I grew up poor. I mean, I've got a little bit more money now than I did growing up, but I can't get out of that concept. Like my kids, like, oh, we're having leftovers. When I was a young pup growing up, I would have begged for leftovers. I would have broke my brother's nose to have a leftover. I mean, it was good things. We think it's sad when people eat squirrels, coons, etc. because of what we see people normally, but a lot of the critters make perfect, fine fare. Yeah, our ancestors grew up eating that stuff, and they were better off than we were. I mean, health wise, why can't I do it? That's why it kind of sucks, man. The deer woods has been really dead and off these last 2 days, so I'm hoping tomorrow is better. I was owed a half a day from last year and a half a day this year, so I'm taking tomorrow off of work, so I get a free day off. My butt's going to be in them deer woods, but it has been so long since I've sat in my woods. The air felt heavy, and literally one, maybe two birds, three, maybe four squirrels. The whole time I sat out in the woods, I was like, this is not right. Something's off. This is just, you feel a heaviness in the air. And then I'm finding out there's so many other people that said the same thing about their woods this year. For some reason, the woods were just dead, and it was different. It's off. I don't know what it is. My mom told us to eat it now or eat it tomorrow as whatever. Yeah, I got told that a lot. Now, there's been a lot of times I've just told you don't get up from the table until you finish that. Starving pygmies and a guinea would love to have it, so you better eat it. I never clean my cast iron, just scrape it out. Oh, I clean mine just because I cook so many different stuff in it. I do clean mine. They actually do have some of it in plain English, Don. Yeah, they do. My Norse, it's hard for me to read, speak Norse because I wasn't growing up. I grew up here in the sagas. I grew up here in the myths. But in my household, they didn't teach it because my household, my family are Mormon. They took up the Mormon way. So I was an outcast because I wasn't Mormon. And then some of my family became New Age Mormon, while the others stayed traditional Mormon. And even the New Age side of my family were outcasts because we didn't stick to the Mormon beliefs. So I never had somebody there to help me learn this stuff. So everything I'm learning, I'm having to learn on my own. Like I give commands to my animals in Norse. That's why you hear me say nein, stopa, come heat, seats. It sounds German, and that's why I always tell you it's the same as a Yank speaking to a Reb. Same language, you just got to draw to her, baby. I mean, the language is very similar. It's because it's all from Germany. It's all Germanic. A lot of people don't know there were several Germanic tribes, and they all split apart. So they all warred against each other. They all fought each other. They all raided each other. They had a very similar language and myths and customs and traditions, but they were spread thin. So that's why you hear a lot of that stuff is very similar, and it's because of that. So, but that's why I was first introduced to the wild hunt myth. I think I was 10, somewhere around 10, 13 years old. Hell, my kin. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Yeah. I remember I was sitting in the winter. It was winter time. I remember that. And it was the first time I ever heard the wailing winds. And it scared the holy living crap out of me, y'all. I mean, I almost pissed my pants. It scared the crap out of me. And I go running inside, and I'm trying to remember if it was my uncle or if it was somebody else who was having a tug at me for it. And that's where he was telling me about the wild hunt. And he's like, man, you better go hide under your bed. Believe it or not, for a long time in the wintertime, I slept under my bed because I didn't want the wild hunt to get me. The religion in San Francisco isn't Mormon; it's more Mormon. Yeah, I use Sumerian to train my dogs. Very few know the. Yeah, Sumerian is a hard language to learn, or so. That is a really hard language. I've yet to be able to pick up a word on that very good. I have a hearing problem. Sound that sound close to each other sound the same. Yeah, they do. They're very, very close, Don. They're very, very close. Sweet Norwegian and Germany mix in me. Yep. My family hail from Ivar the Boneless, also known as Ivar Ragnarsson. His father was Ragnar Lothbrok. That's where my one side of my family come. I got to research the blacks. The blacks came straight from Norway here to the U.S., where the Testermans, which weren't known as Testermans, Testermans is a new name. That name came when my family came over here to the United States from England. But we were lords of Oxfordshire, England at one time until the French came over and started taking over a bunch of land. We lost Oxfordshire. So my Testerman side, which was Tester, Testament, and Testermin or Testerman, that side there hails from Ivar the Boneless, Ragnar Lothbrok. And I've got to do research on the bloodline of the blacks. I'm not sure where they fall on that soup bone. Shit, brother, you needed to experience what I do every day. Wild hunt, wildlife. Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, I've led one hell of a lot wildlife, y'all. I mean, I'll be straight up and honest. I never thought I'd live to be past 21 years old, and here I am, 45. I'm blessed. The good Lord looks after me. I'm truly blessed. No testaments. No freaky no testaments. So, that's a lot of stuff I've learned. Was either A, because somebody was yarning me, or B is because I had to learn it myself because I didn't have anybody teach me. Same as my Native American side, the Cherokee, the Sioux, and the Comanche that runs through my veins. I had to learn them customs by myself. Some of the customs was taught to me by some of my family members. Most of it I had to learn myself, and I'm still learning it to this day. So, and that's the sad side of it. Now, during them learnings, can you be confused? Can you mix stuff up? You see how similar things are in all these countries when it's dealing with the wild hunt. That's that way with so many stuff. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to understand that's always a possibility. Wow, that chat shot. Let me wait till it catches up my end and I'll pop it up because I can see it over here on my screen, but I can't see it on my. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and play that because it's going to be a short night tonight. I've got a video here. Hopefully it'll play because my computer is acting up. So we'll try to give it a play. Let's take a look. If you're looking for the best trauma kit and first aid kits on the market, you can't do any better than Dark Angel Medical. I do not get paid to promote Dark Angel. I talked to Kerry Pocket Doc Davis because I love his product. I use his product. It is the very best product I have ever found. That's why I asked him if I could promote his product on my show. So I don't get no kickback from this. Dark Angel Medical is it, y'all. I mean, he is the godfather of Kit for Life. He created Kit for Life. If you use the kit to save your life and you let Doc know about it, he will replace what you use in that kit for absolutely free. If you have FSA or HSA, you can use that to get Dark Angel medical kits. I know they're expensive. Trust me, I feel it, y'all. I'm the same as you. I'm a single parent. I understand. The pocketbook gets heavy. They do have Sezzle. That's how I used to buy my kits, is because they have Sezzle. So if you get a chance and you want some good kits, go to Dark Angel Medical. Order some stuff on there. If you need to, use Sezzle to make the payments. If you want to learn how to use his kits, he has videos on YouTube at Dark Angel Medical, and he has videos on Instagram. He shows you how to use his kits. Y'all, Doc is a freaking artist when it comes to these kits and how to use them. You will not be disappointed. Oh, for now, because I got to remember to message him about my promo code. So use Cryptid20. Use DA's Cryptid20 to get 20% off. Oh, that 45 again. You said, I can't believe I lived long enough to say that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, heck yeah. Hey, Rhonda, how's it going? Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, William. I hope I gets better, buddy. Let me get caught up on your guys' comments. You'd be surprised. I mean, the payments ain't too bad on that Sezzle, bud. You may want to look into it. Was just thinking your menu sounds like Granny on Beverly Hills. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We won't go there. That's Rumble. So, you guys got any questions on this wild hunt? You want me to kind of hit on some more? Don't, this is supposed to remind you. Yeah, I meant to do it today, man. I got caught up. Man, I'm trying to pump out these investigations to y'all, and I have worked my butt off. I finally got everything to going. I have Odyssey downloaded. I got it downloaded, and so now my 360 digital recorder, I can go through that. I've got to figure out how to pick some stuff out of the background to kind of make it easier to hear some of these EVPs that's caught. I haven't had a whole lot of chance to play with it yet. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to have to watch a YouTube video on it. Me and technology ain't the best of friends. You know, my Murphy's Law is you upset me, I shoot you. So I've shot computers before because I was like, I'm tired of you. You're not working. You're not turning on. Well, 12 gauge makes me feel better when I don't want to turn on. So I may or may not have partaked in doing that a time or two of my lifespan. So I will be getting it. Now I made a rookie mistake with my new camcorder, y'all. And I'm going to apologize now. This new camcorder, I forgot I had to turn the mic on this one. So I've got, 4 hours of video with no audio because I forgot to turn the mic on. So I've got to try to match up my digital or my 360 digital recorder with my camcorder audio so you can have something to go with it. If I don't, then we're getting ready to, in a few months, to go back down there. Yeah, I'm slowly getting stuff. But I mean, if I can't get something to work out right, well, I'll just, when I go down there again, hopefully in March time frame, because my first surgery's in February. So I'm hoping March time frame, I'll be back down there on a private session, which will be a lot better videos for you guys, a lot less background noise, a lot less noise pollution. It's going to be just 6 of us by ourselves. They're doing an investigation. So I should have better quality content to put out to you on that one there. I've tried that once, Don, and yeah, not very good. And not very good. I know how that is, Roxanne. Yes, I know how that is a lot. No worries, DA. You have a good one, bro. I can't wait to hear your stuff tonight. I'll most likely be listening because I'm trying to get this video put out tonight. So, um, here in 40 minutes will be DA's show. We'll be cutting this down here in a little bit. Like I said, earlier, if you guys got any questions about this wild hunt, is there something? Do you guys want to? I've been kicking around doing a show about the black shuck, and I almost tied it in with this one. I just didn't have time today to do that because the black shuck is tied to the wild hunt. So, if you guys want, I will try to get a show put together with about the black shuck. I've been kicking it around, and man, that's not popping up, is it? At least it's not on my end. Oh, there it is. I'm just waiting on it. Okay. Just like DA, you do the same with me. If you go to Amazon, and for DA, you go look up DA Roberts. For me, if you look up ED Testerman, you'll find our books on Amazon. There's a name above our books. If you click it, it takes you to our author's fan page. Subscribe to that. Anytime we do a release on a book, it lets you know before anybody else. It's a great little tool on Amazon if you got a favorite author you like to follow. Hey, Tony, do you often have live chat? This is pretty much what we do right here, buddy. I mean, I'll talk about a subject, pick your guys' brains on it, try to answer what questions I can. Oh, that's cool. My youngest son, Dylan, built this gaming computer, top of the line. I need something that runs better. Mine lags down way too much. Okay, Tony, I'll do one on the black shuck. Because it's a good time to do it. I mean, and let's plan on me doing that next week. I'll do a show on the black shuck next week, and I'll have hopefully I don't have the issue I had today where I've got to take my daughter to work and then pick her up. We're not going to get into why I'm having to do that so often and not with no help, but it is what it is, man. Dad life. Hashtag dad life, baby. I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah, I love the black shuck. I really do. The black shuck and I wrote about the black shuck in my Saga Grimson book 2, Black Death. I wrote that in there because of the ties with Grimson and the ties with England, and the fact that he was over in England. I could not add the black shuck in there. And spoiler alert, Saga Grimson book 3, Revenge of the Wendigo, gives you a story on why Grimson is called Grimson and a little bit more into his life. So there is a spoiler alert in Saga Grimson book 3, Revenge of the Wendigo, where he tells his warriors, his Dringer, why he was called Grimson and not Ragnarsson or Brinderson. Yeah, they do. They do, my bro. I mean, I love my kids to death. I love them to death, so I'm going to do a lot of things for them. It could be because I've got Viasat. I need to save up money. I'm really wanting to go to Starlink, and Viasat, it's good. But here the past week or so, I've been having a lot of lagging issues with it, and I don't know what's going on. And usually when I'm like, I use Microsoft Clipchamp to edit my videos and produce my videos to put out to you guys. And it seems like when I use that, it really lags my computer down. I went to an Ethernet cable instead of my Wi-Fi, seeing if that would improve it, because that's what Viasat told me to do. And it worked good for a little bit. Now I'm back to where I was. Not near as bad as it was, but I'm back there. If you guys want some good home custom made stuff, check out Robbie Rip Rains at Lone Wolf Customs. If you go to his Instagram and look up Lone Wolf Customs, you'll see the type of stuff he makes. He can special make something for you. You can email him at rrrains C8 and let him know what you want or what you had made, and he can do it done. Robbie is a co-host to DX Machina. He'll be on DX Machina tonight. Him and Johnny have their own show called What's Really Out There. Him and Johnny do a phenomenal job on that show. Now, Robbie likes to joke and tell you it's DX Machina light. It is, but it's good. I recommend you guys going and following Robbie Rip Rains. Give him a like, subscribe, and share, and let him know I said hello. Eric, do you have game cameras on your? Yes, I do, Tim, and I've got videos on my YouTube. I haven't posted nothing in a while. I need to get my button gear and do that. But I do post videos of the wildlife and the strange things I catch on my game cams. I need to get a new Cat 5 cable, 50 foot long. Wi-Fi stinks. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is literally right behind my computer, but it is what it is. I've heard that too, Tim. A lot of people has told me that. Don, I don't remember. It probably wouldn't hurt for me to buy some more and put in here. That's kind of where I'm at on it. I've just got to remember how to do it. I have not installed a RAM in so long. My memory is not the greatest when it comes to doing that. But I probably do. I need to probably save up a couple $100 and get me some good RAM. My good friend and author, Jesus Payon Jr., he's good. You may know him from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Two Guns, Albuquerque. He's been in like 50 movies and TV shows. He has a YouTube channel. He don't post on there a whole lot, but when he has something good to post, he does post it. If you go to YouTube and look up Breaking Discoveries or Breaking Bigfoot, you'll find him. Give him a like, subscribe, and follow. Let him know I said hello. Go on Amazon and look up his book, Baking Bad. It is really good, and it's a cookbook that he made with all the recipes that helped him to lose weight. He almost lost his life being an actor, and so he created this book here. So look up Jesus Payon Jr. on Amazon and get his book, Baking Bad. You will not be disappointed. I've read it a couple times now. It is a good read. I have a 7-pound pure metal meteorite. Oh, you lucky dog. I'd love to have one of those. I would love to. That's the biggest piece that I make a cool. Oh, I would, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. My mind went straight. I was like, I could build me a kick-ass Damascus Viking sword with that baby. Jessica Jones, the cryptid hunter herself. She's a real good researcher, investigator, and she has a great show. I'm on her show from time to time. She's on mine from time to time. Go to YouTube and look up the Cryptid Huntress. Give her a like, subscribe, and follow, and let her know I said hello. You will not be disappointed in her. He is, William. Jesus is an awesome dude. I am truly blessed to have been connected with him, and it's such a joy. I need to talk to him about getting him on. I know he's been hurt and dealing with an injury here lately. I need to message him. He's had some other stuff going on. I need to try to get him on again sometime. It's always fun having him on here. He is. If y'all have not seen Jesus Payon do a show, you can see some of mine. DA's done some. Jessica's done some. William, you've done some with him too, if I remember right. Y'all go check out them shows on them channels. Man, he is a freaking hoot. I love having Jesus Payon on here. Yeah. Yeah. Did anyone see us see the black hole in the sun the other day, and it also appeared in the moon? No, I did not, William. I even looked at the moon, and I didn't see it. Huh. No, I didn't. I need to see some pictures on that. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. Is there anything I need to add to this? Basically, man, in the wintertime, you start hearing them whales look up the sky. If you see the wild hunt coming after you, remember, hop your butt into somewhere and hide. Do not let them get you, because they'll carry you off somewhere else, or you may never return. So It's just something to think of. I mean, look at the times that our ancestors lived in when this mythology came about. A lot of deaths happened in the wintertime. I need to find that old poem. I wrote a poem about all four seasons, and I talk about how winter is the season of death. It takes out the old and the weak, and provides new growth for the spring, for new growth, strong and young. There's a reason why this stuff is in our mythology. This is a reason why we have fears in the winter. There's reasons we have fear in the wintertime. It's a primordial thing that we have built in our DNA, because there's things that come out at night in the wintertime. There's things that come out in the day during the wintertime that actively hunted us during the wintertime. And that's why you have so many mythologies dealing with these dangers of winter. My moon is always daytime, though it was nightlight. That's funny, Tim. I mean, it's the reason why we're ingrained. There's a reason why we have fear of the darkness. There's a reason why we have fear in the winters. There's a reason why we have fears in severe storms. This is their stuff that hunted us, our ancestors, back in the day. That is literally built into our DNA to fear these things. So always consider that. Even with the mythology, always remember, in any kind of mythology, there is a kernel of truth in that. What that kernel of truth is, some of the things I could probably guess pretty good, other things not so much. But let's dive into it together and figure it out. I wish I'm gonna let that. I'm waiting for that to pop up over here. I can read it in my little window here, but I can't see it over here in my message. There we go. I'm going outside tonight and try to record the weird stuff during the hunting time. Fear, I have no fear. I wish I could, but it's cloudy here. We're supposed to get some rain, so even though it's going to be raining, I'm still going to be in the woods tomorrow. The big W is usually active mostly in the wintertime or climate. Yes, exactly, or so. Yeah, it is. I mean, look how many things that our ancestors have talked about that comes out in the wintertime that there's warning. I'm going to have to look up that black hole on the sun thing. Yeah, heck yes, Murphy. When the first time. Me too, bro. Me too. Yeah, me too, big brother. I ain't gonna lie, me too. I'm not gonna lie to you. The first time I had a Bigfoot experience up there in St. Joe, Missouri, was at great grandpa's property. I thought great grandpa was pulling my leg. He was yarning me when he said, "Stay out of the woods. Momo's been spotted." That's how I learned that some of this stuff our ancestors, our elders were telling us. They weren't telling us to yarn us. They were telling us because there's truth behind it. I met that. I found that truth out firsthand. My kids, luckily, my youngest daughter starts listening to me. She's had enough experience. She goes, "Okay, when Dad says something, you better listen." I'm lucky there. Has anyone done like a timeline of ancient cryptid stories from different regions? Would be interesting if different cultures were seeing the same stuff at the same time. I have never done it, but if you study a lot of that stuff, you'll see a lot of similarities into it. A lot of similarities into that type of stuff. But I personally have not. If you're looking for a great hand-forged knife, look no further than Brock blades. I mean, you're going to pay for it. It's going to cost you some money. You can buy two of the same knives, and they're not going to look the same. They are 100% hand-forged by Ken Brock himself. So if you want a good hand-forged knife, go over and see Ken Brock. Let him know I said hi, and get yourself a good knife. Now I know why my grandfather didn't like us in the woods after dark. Oh, yeah. Some of these people tell you don't whistle in the woods, period. I always grew up being told you don't whistle in the woods at night. I don't whistle in the woods at night. I mean, I'm not going to say I haven't done it because I have done it absent-mindedly, but it's not something that's common for me to do. And one of the times that I did it was when, you remember when I told you guys about that big white orb that came and shooting out of my woods when I was about 15, 16, when we were playing hide and go seek in the dark. I had whistled to throw my brother off, and about 10, 15 minutes later is when this orb shot through the woods, came directly at my chest. And I fell backwards and slid on my butt because I thought this thing was going to hit me. It came right where I was and then shot straight up in the air. So if that ain't enough to tell you, you don't whistle at night, I don't know what to tell you. That they do. A lot of your predatory stuff that hunts will hunt at night. Yeah. And the wild hunt ain't no different. I mean, there's a reason why they tell you is nighttime in winter. There is truth behind this stuff, folks. And it may not all be true, but there is a kernel of truth. – 100%, William. 100%. Roxanne is a rock star. If you guys haven't already, give her a thank you. She's my mod. She's awesome. She's really awesome. I'm truly blessed that she's my mod. William is too, by the way. Don't forget William. William is also my mod. Good thing I can't whistle. I can whistle, but yeah, I'm just careful about it when I do, Jeff. I mean, I've only had that one experience whistling that night, and that was enough for me to take heed of that warning. You know, of course, like I said, I did it absentmindedly. I was just funning, you know, trying to throw my brother off because I didn't get one to get tagged. So I was making my whistle echo through the woods. Bam. You know, and I had an experience like that. So, I mean, this stuff, there's truth behind that stuff. I mean, look at your mimics, look at your big W's, look at all this other stuff that our ancestors talk about and we have modern experiences with. A lot of times night is involved. Look at that thing that was hunting me last year. I mean, it could have been a mimic. It could have been something else. I don't know. You know, could have been a big W, possibly. Most likely it was probably a mimic that was at night. And that thing was jacking with me the whole time. You're welcome, Roxanne. Yeah, you're a rock star, man. I'm truly blessed to have you. Whenever I whistle, a little wind flies through the air and moves according to how the whistle. Wow. Oh, a little wand moves through. Oh, I read that wrong. Quick read. Yeah, never mind, Smurfy. I get you now. I like to sing at night. I have never been told not to sing at night. I was just always told not to whistle. I got screamed at by a Bigfoot working on a deer stand after dark. Holy crap, Jeff! That'd probably make me piss my pants. I've had them do some weird stuff with me at dark out here. Usually it's early in the morning when I'm getting on to going to work, and they let me know they're in the area. Back when they were only here from mid to late fall to early to mid spring. Now they're here all the time. I mean, you guys seen the picture yesterday. We had a fresh print that my buddy found when we was out in the woods yesterday. I used to hear whistling from the woods from my house when I lived there, usually one or so. Oh, you hear that whistling come from the woods, you better get your butt somewhere to get yourself okay. Yeah, I caught it. I caught it, Smurfy. I caught it, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to learn this stuff, y'all. I'm trying to put out better videos and content for you guys. I'm getting stuff to help out. Yeah, I get that. Oh wait, what the hell? Never mind. I just realized this thing shot. Why does it do that to me all the time? Okay. No comment. Yeah, if I were this one right, you go tuck yourself. Yeah, lock the doors. No joke. I mean, I've got a little girl that likes to dance and sing out here at night sometimes. I've heard whistles at night. I've heard people calling me at night. I've heard some weird stuff, and that's, yep, exit stage left, and that's time to go inside. Heard fireworks at night too, yeah. So let me. Oh, that's why. I was wondering why they didn't pop up. Man, you are lagging so bad. Okay, that popped up. We're going to go ahead and get ready to kind of shut her down a little bit, give everybody a chance to get ready for DA's show. Thank you all for joining me once again. Sorry it's a short show today. It is what it is. I can't really, there ain't much I can do about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll do some more research on the black shuck. Get you guys some good comment. Was planning on doing the black shuck next Sunday. Well, the thing about where I live at, William, you go till you hear banjos, and you keep going till you stop hearing banjos, and then you're close to my house. I live out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Yeah, my late mini pen visits. Yeah, I remember you telling. I mean, that's awesome. I've sworn I've seen Dovey a time or two, and Dovey was one of the best dogs I ever had. And there's times I could have swore I've seen her. Oh, you're welcome, Tony. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah. Sadly, where I live at, people play banjos run for me. They might identify as a pencil by the time I'm done with them. So, like I said, look forward tonight. If everything works out, midnight, the release of part 1 of the paranormal investigation of the Pythian Castle. I'll be working on the other stuff. I'm hoping to have next week or the week after have part 2 released. If I can get everything done in time, next week I'll have part 2 released. Part 3 is going to take me a little longer because I've got a ton of work to do on it, and there's still a ton of stuff I got to go through on that. I hope to see you guys over on DA's show in a little bit. Don't forget to catch William next Friday at High Strangeness on YouTube. Saturday morning, Sunday morning. As long as I'm out of the woods in time, I'll be there Saturday and Sunday morning. I've got to get some food on the table, so I'm trying to take every advantage that I can to get some meat in the freezer. So there's a poem I like to read at the end of this show. It's one I wrote, and it goes like this. There comes a time when the warrior falls. They leave this realm and will be missed by all. Raise a glass and keep them in your heart. They have kept this realm safe and performed their part. Look to your veterans, your active duty, your EMTs, and the blue line. What they do or have done was walk that fine line. When the demon comes calling on your soul, they will be there to save us all. Hold them in your prayers, for they are deserving. They all have served or are serving. To all my OG subscribers, thank you so much. To my new subscribers, thank you. You guys are wonderful. You guys make this possible, and you get to hear this old hillbilly talk. So I'm grateful for every single one of you guys. To all my veterans, my first responders out there, thank you so much for what you do. I really appreciate every single one of you. And I hope I get to see you guys again next time. So until then, y'all, peace, love, and blessings to you all. And may you all be blessed. Goodbye, everybody. Welcome to the Bizarre and the Unknown. I am your host, E.D. Testerman. I am an author and investigator. I am also a researcher into the unknown. Join me as we dive together into this bizarre and the unknown universe. Do you believe in UFOs and aliens, things that fly in the sky and in our oceans? Do you hear things that go thump at night, or do you see things that you cannot explain? Do you believe in Shiai Tonka, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Booger, and so many more? Join me on my adventures as I investigate this stuff that's out there. Let's learn how to guard ourselves and protect the things out there that need our protection. I'm a United States Marine and United States Army veteran. I love my country and have served it proudly. And I want to give a special thanks to all the veterans and first responders.